Hi, my name is Alexandra Santos, and I will be presenting on question number 2 for my video of this portion of the discussion board. So just a brief overview of what I thought about Chrissy's class. I really enjoy learning about the blues culture. She was also very informative about all the topic. I liked the way how Christy was able to show the moves and everyone in the class participated. It was a fun, great experience. I really enjoyed it. Now, to use what I learned in there and what I learned in other media, such as the articles and the videos I watched, I want to talk about question number 2. So the first one is asking, how did race, gender, and or class appear in the images created by presenting dance? So for this, I want to talk about the minstrel shows. These were performances played presented from the white folks painting themselves with black paint to poke fun of or kind of imitate African Americans in the show. This was a very racially discriminatory show presented during the 19th century. It was predominantly done by males, however women later joined in the later stages of doing this. And it was a form of entertainment for the wealthy Caucasians at this time. Controversially, how did the performer evoke notions of gender, race, class in the movement? Well, this kind of led into later social events. So segregated dancing, that was another one. If we look at pictures during like the 1920s, 1940s, there isn't much of a diversity in social dancing. So it's like going through just the articles we read through, I'm able to see this. It also often led between segregated segregated proms early on, even in our generation. Like we are able to see this, how proms had a great effect on students. So there would be whites and there would be black proms. Oh, and I did find a poster for a minstrel show online. So as we can see here, there is, you can kind of see they're imitating black people by painting themselves. And this is a performance called For Our Nation's Fun Makers, held by William H. West, the Big Minstrel Jubilee. So that's what I found on the internet for this. Now, if we get into social media takes a large toll on dance. We see it everywhere. We see on TV, they have shows about it like World of Dance, So You Think You Can Dance. It's also on our phones. We go through Instagram, we scroll, we see videos from Millennium and all this stuff. Even YouTubers. We have YouTube channels that make a bunch of dance videos. And for the question, it says, what did or does visual culture and media photos say about race relations and gender? From my experience and what I see nowadays, there isn't much of race, gender discrimination in media involving like the dance world. It's more or less equal. There are styles that overpower one another. So we can see contemporary is one dance form that has mainly equal. It's performed not only by girls but also guys. Hip-hop, when we get into that, started off being mainly males who did hip-hop as dance form, while females were more into ballet, contemporary, and then let's see, there's also there's walking and voguing. Now it's getting into all genders are able to do it, but when starting off, walking and voguing were mainly done by males imitating a female. So you can tell that by the figure, the way they dance, that's all its own separate. But other than that, social media has a powerful impact as people want to relate with the people they see on their phones, just scrolling through. And then lastly, describe how the movement of people were radically harmed or helped by these depictions. This is more of like partner dancing and migration. So here I want to take it back to where I want to talk about ragtime dancing, which is something I read in an article. It's more of a proper dance, so it's done with a male and a female, and it's almost as if it's a marching dance. And from what I heard in class, from what Marcus White told us, and what also like Christy, as an example, she told us, was that that was more of the parent dance at the time when it was performed, so that's like the early 20th century. And it reminds me of stiff ballroom, but basically the kids wanted to break apart from that stiff dancing, and they created more social dancing. That's where everything ties in. They don't want to be like their parents, so they go to clubs and they go to social events. Thank you.